I hope you had fun building your elements and checking stuff out. Let's scroll down to the next part. We have apply and reflect. Your task here is to type your answers to the following questions, then watch the video over here to compare your answers. So if you're already watching the video, then hopefully you've already got your answers down. We're going to check your answers right now. Let's look at the table above. How did you know whether the example was an element or a compound? So if we look up here, how did you know that each of these was an element or a compound? Hopefully you wrote something along the lines of, I looked for the capital letters in each of these chemical symbols and formulas, and I know that if it has more than one capital letter, it's a compound, and if it has only one capital letter, then it's an element. So hopefully you typed something along those lines right here, okay? So just click there and type your answer. From the formulas given, identify each of the following as either an element or a compound. So this NaCl, big N, little a, capital C, lowercase l. NaCl. Is that an element or a compound? Right off the bat, we just said it. We're going to look for those capital letters. So how many capital letters do you see right there? We've got a capital N and a capital C. So we automatically know that if there's more than one, we have a compound, right? So you can put C for compound right there. What about this Ag? How many capital letters do we have in Ag? Just one. That's right. So if we only have one capital letter, is that an element or a compound? Hopefully you just said element, because if you did, you would be correct. So we're going to put a capital E right there. How many capital letters do we have in CO? Capital C, lowercase o. That's right. We only have one. We only have one. Is that an element or a compound? That is an element. Capital E it is. All right, so this looks kind of the same, but we have a difference. We've got a capital C and a capital O. How many capital letters do we have right there? 2. That's right. So we have 2. Is that an element or a compound? That's right. That is a compound. Next, we have SO2. So how many capital letters do we have in SO2? This is how we're going to tell if it is an element or a compound. We have a capital S and we have a capital O. So we have 2 capital letters. Is this an element or a compound? That's right. That is a compound because there is more than one capital letter. Excellent work. Okay, last one. This one has that tricky number 2 in it, but don't forget, we're only counting capital letters if we're wanting to know whether this is an element or a compound, okay? How many capital letters do you see in H2? Just 1. So is this an element or a compound? It's an element. Yay, good job. Okay, excellent. So number 3 says nitrogen is in the air in the form of 2 nitrogen atoms fastened together. We've got N2 is its chemical formula. Is the nitrogen an element or is it a compound? We've got N2, is it an element or a compound? Same as above, we're still looking for those capital letters, right? How many capital letters do we have in N2? Just 1. And if we only have 1, is that an element or a compound? That's right, it is an element. So we're going to click down here and we're going to write element. Okay, how do we know? Hopefully you will put something in there. We looked for capital letters. There's only 1 capital letter in N2. So I know because there's only 1 capital letter that that is an element. Excellent work on this section. For the bonus section of this assignment right here, this is where if you were on our website over here constructing, where do we go here? Okay, if you're over here and you built me some new elements, I want you to take a picture of them. You can attach them right here, and you can tell me what they are if you want to, and explain to me what your element is and which elements are in there, or what your compound is and which elements are in there. So that's just a bonus. You don't have to do that part, but if you want to, you're more than welcome. Please make sure you push save on this document before you turn it in, exit out at the top, and go turn it in to get your credit. If you have any questions, let me know in the questions channel or send me an email.